I would tell this 17-year-old kid, I'll talk to you as if I'm talking to myself at 17. Bro, you got really lucky in the DNA game. Your mom and dad had sex at the right second and a lot of things went well for you. You're stunningly got a ton of shit figured out, but you have one major problem. Your lack of candor to people that you love is gonna fuck you up. It's gonna be your kryptonite. And so work on that and start telling people how you actually feel, and that will really help you. Even if it might hurt their micro feelings, you won't build resentment and it won't fuck up your game. Besides that, keep doing what you've been doing, which is, and this is now the advice I'm giving you, Max, brother, listen to me. At 17, the biggest mistake that every 17-year-old makes on earth is they think they're supposed to. That's where I end it. You think you're supposed to, based on your family, based on what content you consume, based on your life, you think you're supposed to X, you think you're supposed to Y, right? Now with the way the world is, some 17-year-olds live in families where they think they're supposed to not go to college and be an entrepreneur because their folks are. But maybe you fucking love going to school that way and that's your path, and you fear being an entrepreneur because you've seen your parents struggle with entrepreneurship. More likely, you think you're supposed to do this college thing or be a this or be a that, or you want to be an influencer or you're supposed to be a lawyer. Bro, at 17, what you need to realize is how lucky you are. How many people here would give it all up to be 17 again? Raise your hand. One more time, because I want this kid to have a moment. This is a room of some, by the way, I don't know if you saw how fast my fucking hand went up. How many people in this room, no bullshit, would give it all up to be 17 again? Raise your hands. Brother, listen to me. You could literally do nothing right for the next 13 years of your life. Actually, let me say it a different way. You could literally do nothing right for the next 17 years of your life. Do you know what I was doing professionally at 34 years old? What? I worked in my father's liquor store. I haven't even started what I am now today to everyone here. You have such a scary amount of time. What would I tell you to do? To take a step back and really think about what you like what you watch, gaming, music, rock climbing, I don't fucking know you, you know what I mean? But whatever it is, you have so much time to actually go chase it. Live humbly though. Don't have your parents or grandparents support your dream. If you have a dream and you wanna live it, then fucking live on the floor with your buddies, right? Don't become entitled and have someone pay for your dream. But if you have a dream, go try to go after it for 6, 7, 10 years. And after 10 years, 12 years, 17 years, then you could be like, all right, look, I went after it. When I'm 80, I'll never regret. I wanted to be this. You gotta be self-aware. You can't look at yourself. I couldn't look at myself and be like, I wanna be in the NBA. That's delusional. You know, you can't be delusional, but you can absolutely fucking do anything, and none of it, if it goes wrong, will matter, other than you need to make sure you do it the proper way. And what you need to do is, and do you know why everybody raised their hand? Because as you get older, this very scary thing starts to creep in. You don't know about this shit yet, Max, but let me tell you what it's called. It's called regret. And regret is the fucking worst. And so what I want you to do for the next 17 years is you live your life without regret. Don't blame your parents for making you go to this or become that. Do what the fuck you want on your own 2 feet, not their paper. Do it the right way and do it for a decade. And if it doesn't work out, then you can get a bullshit job. I think if you think about university as something that you want to do for your parents because they've done so much for you, you'd be surprised on how it feels going through university. I believe that I believe that you know in your heart that it being a fallback piece of paper is bullshit. But I don't believe that you think going for 4 years for your parents is bullshit. As a matter of fact, based on the way you're talking, I think that it would make you happy to do that for your parents.
It will make me happy, and I know that because the thing is that my dad, he went through the normal process and it was really hard for him, and he had to work so hard, and he was such a disadvantage because of his circumstances. There was civil war and everything when he was growing up. So for him, the fact that he made success as an employee and as working for a company after so many years, and the growth of the company while he was with them exponentially grew. So so that's why I always completely understand my dad when he tells me like, you have to go to university. This is the only way. Like what else are you gonna do? No job is gonna look for you without a degree. And then I always tell my dad like, take a quote from Elon Musk. The people that I didn't go to Harvard, but the people that worked for me did. And then my dad was like, and then my dad always tells me, how many Elon Musks are there in the world? And I told my dad,
The problem is there's a lot more. They're not Elon Musk, but the amount of people that are entrepreneurs that were not built for school, that have gone on to successful, but more importantly, happy lives, that have far more college educated literally almost everybody that works for my companies, the 1,500 current employees and the tens of thousands that have worked for me in my life, literally almost all of them, outside of a couple scrappers at Wine Library, stock boys, have been on paper more educated than me. Forget about my financial success in comparison to the majority of them. It's the sheer happiness of living what's in your DNA that is so important.
yeah,
I view entrepreneurship like I view art. I really do. I really do. I believe that artists who are truly artists are happy to live by financial humble means, to be able to draw or to doodle or whatever they do. And if that means they'll make $63,000 a year scrapping by a side job and selling a couple of paintings, that if they truly are a true artist, not one who thought they wanted to be an artist to become Banksy or make money or be famous or be a rock star and date models. I mean, truly, I am an artist and I love it. I believe they're happier than a chemical engineer making $800,000 a year. And I think that's why I associate with entrepreneurship so much, more about the freedom of being happy about doing your true mission than the financial success that's associated with it. Because when I got into it, it wasn't cool like it is right now. Do you understand how crazy it is for me to have young men like you say that I'm your idol? There was no thought that businessmen or women were cool. When I was your age, athlete, musician, but never even, the most famous businessman that was doing something progressive was Bill Gates, and his glasses were the size of my head. It was the furthest, it was nerd culture for the progressive businessman, or very old people. Like a businessman on TV would be a 70-year-old man with white hair, right, Maha? It's very fascinating how things evolve, but I would tell you that I think, because I have to run right now, I just realized, I apologize, but I think A, let's stay in touch. B, convert to the fact that you're doing it for your parents, and I think you'll enjoy it a lot more the next 6 years. I wasn't able to convince my parents either to not go to college. I didn't want to, and I went for 4 years because I loved my parents so much, and I just, I think, I'm sure Maha could tell you the same thing, and anybody who's lived a little bit. Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable for a period of time is actually a great life skill. And honestly, no matter how much, including myself, one loves entrepreneurship, the vacation that is being young and just going to school is, that's the reason I was able to be okay the last 4 or 5 years mentally was I basically said, well, this will be my last real vacation before I go into my real life. And so, I think what I was fortunate enough was my parents didn't stop me from doing business stuff on the side. As obviously I worked for my family's liquor store business, and I was doing my sports card and flipping and garage selling. And so, if you're in a position where your parents aren't completely stopping you from doing things on the side and saying, no, you can't, you're forbidden, you must only study. If you're lucky enough that you can do both, I would tell you that you have plenty of time in front of you, what you want. But I do think the sooner you can start tasting, drop shipping, influencer marketing, NFT, cryptocurrency, all this stuff looks easy on paper. It's good in theory, but then when you do it, it's much harder than people think. And I think the sooner you can taste the ups and the downs, it's kind of like exercising. You'll be more prepared for when you do it full time. It's like prepping for a fight.